Y'all wanna know something fucking weird? For the first time since I can remember, I don't have anything to complain about. I mean, I'll find something. But I'm okay. I remember going to the psychiatrist and telling her that my medicine was working. And she was like, oh, that's great. So you don't want to die anymore. And I was like, oh, no. I still rather not exist. But I don't have active suicidal ideation. I don't feel like I want to die, that I want to kill myself. I just rather not exist. And that is comfortable. It took seeing the psychiatrist to understand how entirely bizarre that is. I mean, I realize that normal people don't feel that way. Let's say neurotypical people with healthy mental health. I don't want to say normal, because I'm fucking normal. I'm normal, right? Neurotypical people don't feel that way. And a lot of neurodivergent people don't feel that way. Not all the time. But it is my default setting. And I don't know how to change it. But my medicine is working. I'm taking Zoloft and Abilify. Yeah, Zoloft is the antidepressant. Abilify is the antipsychotic. And the antipsychotic, it makes you prone to restlessness. And this restlessness is unlike any I've ever experienced. I went back down to half a pill instead of a whole one because it was driving me crazy, guys. I had like restless legs when I slept or tried to sleep. I couldn't sleep. I always felt like I needed to be moving no matter what I was doing. It was never enough. It was driving me crazy. It was pretty bad. But now it's back to normal. I stopped taking it for like a week and then went back to just half a pill. And so it's pretty comfortable now. But I was thinking about emotions in general because yesterday I experienced happiness. And I've talked to you guys about how emotions register for me as stress. I just get very, very fucking stressed out. It almost triggers a fight or flight response. Uh, and because I am kind of a freeze flight hybrid, like literally, last time I was happy was in 2015, and it made me feel like I needed to shit myself and run. Like there was a predator nearby and I needed to get the fuck out of there. It was like such a primal response that I just needed to get away. And there's no way for me to get away because it's happening in me, but that was how my body responded to it. But yeah, yesterday I felt happy. I don't know what elicited it. I don't know where it came from, but I wrote it out. It didn't make me that anxious. But then that made me think about crying because I have kind of conditioned myself to try to cry when other people are crying. I feel like even if that's not the best way to go about it, at least I'm doing something that could be kind of perceived at least a little bit as human, because sometimes I do feel quite alien in my experience just as a living being. I've never been a particularly emotional person, of course, but there is one movie that I've seen that actually made me reflect upon my experience, and it made me cry. It was weird, and the movie is called The Perfection. It's on Netflix, and I think it was, well, spoiler alert, I think it was the marriage of perfectionism and sexual abuse together that was chilling to me. Um, just the phrase, it's what is expected of us, causes me a fair amount of distress because I relate so heavily to it that it is ingrained in my every sinew. It is impossible to get away from. Just unbelievably present. I have a hard time with words. I mean, it's fairly obvious from just hearing me speak that I am articulate. I am able to articulate the things that I'm thinking, but the way that my thoughts go, I'm sometimes nonverbal. Sometimes there's something that is stealing the words from my mouth before I can say them. And it's somewhere in between being a thought and coming out of my mouth. It just won't, they won't come, the words won't come. But I could think of them. And the way that I think when I speak, it makes my cadence, I want to say that's the right word, cadence, a little stilted. I can only formulate a few words at a time. And like for normal speech, for like a regular person, when they talk, they can think of the words that they're going to say pretty coherently and then speak them. For me, I can't think of the things I'm going to say and then say them. They have to be thought of as I'm saying them. And so there's this backlog of things that I'm thinking and they're not being said. It's difficult. It's just difficult to speak sometimes. Um, and I know that's not a thing that a lot of people, um, I don't know, can relate to, but I know there are people that can, that understand what I'm trying to say. Words are just hard sometimes, especially speech. I rather write all my thoughts any day. It's so much easier to express myself through writing than it is through speech. And that causes a lot of interpersonal problems because I rather not say anything, because often what I'm trying to say doesn't get across. And I feel that it is because there's a disconnect for me somewhere in my brain between thought and speech. I'm so bad about looking at the camera when I speak to you guys. I apologize. I had a friend who pointed it out to me. I mean, I know I do it, but she was kind of poking at me, making fun of me for not looking at the camera when I talk. I have a hard time keeping eye contact. You can see I can't just look at the camera. Um, yeah, I have a hard time intuiting people's feelings from their eyes. I don't look at people's eyes when they talk to me. I look at their mouths to understand more what they're saying and how they're feeling. And I know that's not typical. Typically, people look you in the eye, and breaking eye contact is absolutely healthy. But I don't, I don't like looking in people's eyes because they don't tell me anything. Yeah, it's hard for me to get any information from a person in general, but looking at eyes is, well, it's odd to me. Yeah, I just wanted to update you on the goings on in my life because I'm okay. I just had like a series of just a lot of good things happen all at once, like, and all the pieces kind of fell into place a little, where I'm on a medicine that's helping me, and I got treated for the bed bugs. I got the treatment for the bed bugs, and it seems like they're gone. That's a huge accomplishment. That makes a big difference. Being able to sleep at night, and then I went to the VAV concert, and that high key changed my life. It was unbelievable, guys. It was great, but things are all right. I mean, the quarantine is the quarantine, and being around people is draining. I don't particularly like it because I'm used to being alone during the daytime, but having Dick here is stressful. But I'm trying my best. We're making do, making sure that I ask for my own space at times when I feel like overwhelmed. But yeah, things are alright. Hope everything's alright with you guys. I'll talk to you later. Deuces.